Well, so here's what you should want to know about the Mayan calendar and why the Mayan calendar. They call it the Olmec calendar or the Aztec calendar. You can just go to azteccalendar.com and begin to post your significant dates, like your birthday, and find out what they are according to the Aztec calendar. But why would you even want to know about the Aztec calendar? Why would you want to know about the calendar that is for people born in America? Why would you want to know that? Now, the reason you might want to know is because your birthday is according to what's called the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is the former Pope of Rome, many, many moons ago. And this is a European calendar. This is a Roman Catholic calendar that was based off of the Egyptians. Either way, whether you're talking about Rome or Egypt, we're talking about places that are not America. How important is a calendar? Well, a calendar calculates time, the passing of time. And the mere fact that time zones are different in our physical universe, it takes time to get from point A to point B. And as time is ticking and we're moving, that sun that you see, which is our reference point, it is moving. Just like the hands on a clock or a watch. Why? Why is it moving? Because something is moving and the clock is following what is moving. You see, that clock or the hands on the clock keep ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking because it's charting the movement of the sun. And you can barely even see the sun moving. How would you know the sun is moving? Or how would you know that the earth is moving? Why? Because of its position to the sun. It keeps rotating around the sun, and so the light starts to cast different shadows. So you'll notice it's moving, but you can barely feel it. You can barely feel the earth moving. In fact, you can't feel it at all, really. So to get from Texas to New York takes time. We even have different time zones. The time zones are not so different, though, within the United States that it could take you off of your time. It'll get lost in time. No, I'm talking about when you're over there in Arabia, it's almost the other side of the day. When you're in China, it's going to be a different part of the whole day. Here in New York, or here in Dallas in New York, maybe 1 hour past. All the way to California, Central Standard Time, to Western Standard or Pacific Time, that's just 3 hours. What is my point? My point is time is different over there. The terrain is different. The environment is different. They're on a whole nother time. So this is why the calendar that is germane here, the people here have a different way of calculating time. One of them, of dividing this day period, was this sacred calendar that I talk about every day. It's 260 days. Wow, well, what's about 260 days? It's the birth of a person, the birth of a baby. It's approximately 266 days. It's approximately 260 days. And 260 days is approximately, give or take, about 100 days short of what's called a solar year. But it's approximately 9 months. So these totems, these animal totems, are representations of what's going on within the human being. See, let's just go down a few of these totems. Right now, we're in something called the serpent cycle. Well, just study the way how serpents are. They move a certain way. Historically speaking, serpents represented something that comes to destroy, break order down. Get bit by a venomous snake. It will eat you from the inside out. Serpent cycle. Serpent represents an enemy. It represents something that comes to sting you, something that lurks. You can't see it. It's damn near undetectable. Serpents know how to hide in places. These are like serpent-like people. But the serpent also represents, as it's used in the medical profession, knowledge of the way the body works, knowledge of health, mind, and body. These are totems. We just got out of the rabbit cycle. The rabbit is used to represent the path to dignity, coming out of darkness into the light. The word rabbit is very similar to the word rabbi, which represents a teacher, somebody who comes to lead you out of darkness. These are the totems, just a few of them that you'll find in this Aztec calendar. So the months that we use, they're July, June, October, and they may be based on some type of god or person, but this takes the Mayan Olmec calendar takes it away from human beings and it puts it within nature. And this is okay because human beings have characteristics like that of the anthropomorphic, or I should say of animals. Animal behavior is very much can be used to talk about how nature represents itself, aspects of nature in the form of an animal. The word animal represents a aspect of life. And you know, animals, they're not expressing a whole bunch of different capabilities. A rabbit is pretty much a rabbit, and it's pretty much going to stay a rabbit. And every once in a while, you'll see rabbits do things that are kind of weird. And, you know, when animals get around human beings, we can affect animals, and animals start doing, especially dogs who start to talk like animals. Talk like humans. You even have some animals like a bird who they mimic sound. This is the fascinating thing about animals. To have a calendar that is rooted in animal totems. So that is why having a calendar that is based in nature, can be very revealing and telling. Like during this serpent cycle, all you really have to do is I would just sit and listen to people's conversation. And you'll notice that people's conversations change because problems change. As time moves on, things change, very much like the human being. The human being starts as a fetus, then it grows, then it grows, then it grows. It has new problems, new characteristics, new capabilities. This is a calendar. This is very much like the Mayan calendar. One cycle, you're going to be focused on learning that life is a jungle, deer cycle. Like very much the movie Bambi, the deer cycle. Learning that life is a jungle and all that comes along with that. Then you have the vulture cycle. I'm born during the vulture cycle. The vulture cycle is like the cleanup crew. This is the time where you get a chance to clean your crazy self up. Then you have something that's called the monkey cycle. The monkey cycle, these 13-day period, that's about creativity, living a public life, being out in the public, but also being aware of the traps of that public life brings. Then you have something that's called the dog cycle. And the dog cycle is a good time to connect with the other side, because the dog represents a being, or a dog sees things that you don't normally see. Its ability to pick things up are a little further past the human being's ability, or at least the human being, the way that we exist now. Dogs can see things we can't see. Dogs are loyal. They're good advisors. They warn you. The dog cycle is a good time to listen to those things that your loved ones who have passed on have been telling you. To the dream world. All of these, this is the beauty of a calendar, because these totems represent things.